Welcome HFY Sci-Fi Starbound. Subscribe my channel. The salvaged ship Wayfarer floated like a lonely ghost in the dead silence of space. Dr. Elara Quinn adjusted the controls, eyes fixed on the giant derelict drifting ahead. The alien vessel was enormous twisted metal, and shattered glass scattered across its surface like the ribs of a dead beast. It spun slowly near the glowing ember of a red dwarf star. Elara felt her throat tighten. She had seen many wrecks before. Pirates' Wars accident space was littered with graves, but this felt different. The scanner pinged. No life. Signs, no active systems. She exhaled, fingers flexing over the console. Good. A clean salvage. In and out. Her eyes swept across the derelict's surface. Strange markings lined its cracked hull, glowing faintly blue even in death. She didn't recognize the species. That wasn't surprising. The galaxy was full of unknowns. She flicked on her comms recorder. Log entry 1431. Alien wreckage detected. In orbit of BD 17412. Possible high-value materials. Boarding for recovery. Or salvage pod detached from the Wayfarer. Die. Thrusters firing with a soft hiss. As the pod docked with a torn airlock, the metal screeched against her hull. Elara winced at the sound. It felt wrong. Like nails on a chalkboard in the void. Inside the derelict was a tomb, her helmet light cut through floating dust and debris. Fractured corridors stretched endlessly, lined with alien panels and shattered conduits. Strange organic shapes twisted in the walls. This ship wasn't built like any human design. Her boots clanged softly as she stepped deeper. This will be worth it, she told herself. One rare alien alloy could pay off her debts for. Good. The silence pressed in around her. Then she heard it, a sound, soft, faint, like a cry. She froze. Hello. Her voice echoed in her helmet. No response. She strained her ears. There it was, a Guinea, thin, high-pitched whimper, almost too faint to hear over her breathing. Elara's heart pounded. Her hands tightened on her plasma cutter. The scanners said no life signs. She switched her visor to thermal. Most of the ship showed deep blue cold, dead. But then, a flicker of orange dot, tiny, weak, huddled deep in the wreckage, impossible. Elara's training screamed at her to leave. Alien derelicts were dangerous. Unknown life forms even more so.
Galactic Authority's salvage code was clear.
Report any biosignatures. Do not engage. But the sound came again. Softer. Fragile. It wasn't a monster's roar. It wasn't a predator's growl. It sounded. Scared it's alive. Elara moved toward the heat signature. Heart hammering. She passed. A twisted bulkhead and found what looked like a cryo chamber. Its glass shattered. Frost clung to the walls. Long since melted from whatever emergency had torn this ship apart. Inside lay a small shape, an alien child. It was no bigger than a human toddler. Its skin was pale lavender, marbled with faint glowing lines. A pair of ridged, delicate ears curled along its head. Its body was curled tightly. One of its legs was bent at a sickening, angled, twisted, and useless. Its eyes were half open, milky and unfocused. Elara swallowed hard. Disabled. The child let out a weak, pitiful cry. Elara felt her stomach turn. She'd seen how the Galactic Authority handled biohazards. Any life form found in a derelict was considered contaminated. Standard protocol, incinerate. But this wasn't some deadly parasite. It was just a child her comes crackled to life. Dr. Quinn. Report. She hesitated. Say it, she told herself. Say there's life. Just call it in. But the child made a sound again, a soft whimper that sounded eerily like Ma. Elara's breath caught. Her fingers moved to mute her coms. No active biosignatures. Proceeding with salvage, she lied. She knelt down. Hey there, she whispered. Knowing it couldn't understand her, the child's cloudy eyes blinked. It reached out a tiny, trembling hand. Without thinking, Elara pressed her gloved fingers. To its skin, warm. So fragile, she thought about the Authority labs, about sterile white rooms and cold needles. No, she whispered, not you. Not like that. She gently scooped the child into her arms. It was so light like a feather. I'm not leaving you here. Lara moved quickly back to her pod. The child clung weakly to her suit, letting out a soft, chittering sound that made her chest tighten. As she docked with the Wayfarer, warning lights flared, unauthorized biomass detected. She cursed and slammed the override. Shut up, stupid. System, in the med bay, she set the child on the table, curled into a ball, shivering. Her fingers hovered over the console. What do I do with you? She stared at the alien's twisted leg, its fragile body. Looks like we're both broken, huh? She whispered. She thought about her own past, the child she'd lost, and the years of silence that followed. Elara reached out and brushed her fingers. Gently over its head, I'm calling you. Kai. Outside, the red dwarf burned like a dying ember in the shadows beyond. Sensors flickered as a massive alien ship began to stir. A guttural voice spoke over an encrypted channel. The asset. Lives, terminate the human. The Wayfarer glided quietly through deep space. Her engines humming like a heartbeat in the void, Dr. Elara Quinn sat at the helm. Eyes darting between her controls and the sleeping alien child beside her. Kai lay wrapped in a thermal blanket. On the co-pilot's seat, his small lavender body curled tight, his breathing shallow. His twisted leg rested awkwardly against the edge. Elara's hand brushed his delicate fingers. Poor little thing, she thought. She had no idea what species. He was or why he'd been left to die in that shattered cryopod. All she knew was that the Galactic Authority would take him apart in a lab if they found out, and whoever his people were. A shiver ran down her spine. Something tells me they weren't coming to save you either, the console blared. Proximity. Alert? Elara's head snapped up. ... What now? Shadow loomed outside her VIEWPOR. At first, she thought it was an asteroid. Then it moved. A massive alien warship slid into view, blocking the faint light of the red dwarf behind her. Its hull was covered in sharp, jagged spines. Glowing symbols pulsed along its sides in a sickly green hue. Unknown vessel detected. Identify immediately. Her comms crackled to life. A guttural voice snarled in an alien tongue. The translation. AI struggling to keep up. Human vessel. Return the asset. Or die. Elara's blood ran cold. They're not here to rescue him. Her gaze flicked to Kai. His milky eyes fluttered open. He let out a soft, frightened whimper. She, Elara whispered, gripping the throttle. Not today. The alien ship. Powered weapons. Warning. Lock-in detected. Not good, she muttered. Elara slammed the engines into overdrive. The Wayfarer lurched forward. Groaning under the sudden strain, the first plasma bolt screamed past her cockpit, missing by meters. Damn. She darted into a nearby asteroid field. The rocks spinning in chaotic orbits. Inside the cockpit, warning lights flared red. Hull integrity, 85%. Engines overheating. Kai let out a terrified cry, clutching her sleeve, his tiny hand gripped with. Surprising strength? It's okay, Elara said, trying to keep her voice calm. I've got you. I hope I'm not lying, she thought grimly. The alien ship followed, tearing through asteroids with its energy cannons. Persistent bastards. Elara whispered. She flicked a switch, venting coolant into space. The Wayfarer vanished from sensors for a brief moment. Memory flooded back. Her first week as a rookie pilot, her instructor's voice. In an asteroid field, speed kills. Stay low, stay slow. Use the rocks. Elara took a deep breath. She cut. Her engines, the ship drifted silently between two massive boulders. The alien vessel slowed, scanning. Elara held her breath. Kai's cloudy eyes locked onto hers. He didn't understand the words, but something in her expression seemed to calm him. His trembling stopped. For a moment, the only sound was her own pounding heart. Then the alien ship fired blindly into the field. Asteroids shattered around her. Lara. Powered up again, thrusters roaring as she dove deeper into the maze of rocks. Hang on, Kai. The child whimpered but didn't cry. Instead, he gripped her hand tighter. The chase dragged on for minutes that felt like hours. Finally, a dense cluster of debris appeared on her scanners, a perfect hiding spot. She slipped the Wayfarer into the heart of the wreckage, cutting all power except life support. The alien ship flew past, sensors sweeping the void. Elara didn't breathe until it vanished from view. She collapsed back in her chair, hands shaking. Kai reached up, touching her cheek with a small, cool hand. She looked at him in surprise. You're still here?" she whispered. The child made a soft sound, almost like a question. "Yeah," she said softly. "We made it." Hours later, while running scans in her lab, Elara discovered something that made her stomach churn. Records from Kai's derelict ship showed thousands of genetic profiles. All of them were perfectly uniform. No defects, no mutations, no anomalies. But Kai's file was marked with a single alien glyph. Her translation AI struggled, then spat out one word: reject. Lara's jaw tightened. "They're purging their own children," she muttered. She glanced at the sleeping boy on her med-dash table. "You weren't abandoned by accident. They wanted you dead." Her hand brushed his tiny, frail fingers. "I don't care what they think," she whispered. She stood, checking her weapons, systems, and shields. "They'll have to kill me first." Outside, the alien warship doubled back toward the asteroid field. The hunt wasn't over. The Wayfarer groaned as its systems flickered. Lights dimmed. Alarms screamed through the cramped cockpit. "Warning, life support failing, oxygen 23%, power reserves 7%. Dr. Elara Quinn slammed her fist on the console. "Damn it, hold together." "Girl." She glanced at Kai, who sat in her co-pilot's chair, wrapped in a thermal blanket. The small alien child looked at her with cloudy eyes, his twisted leg tucked awkwardly beneath him. Elara's voice softened. "Don't worry, kiddo. I'll fix this." She scrolled through her options. The nearest station was 3 jumps away. At time, her eyes narrowed at a flashing icon. Outlaw Station, Grimhaven, distance 0.4 L. Elara sighed. Not ideal. "It's that or suffocate." As the Wayfarer limped toward Grimhaven, Elara spoke quietly to Kai. "Listen, Kai. This place isn't safe. We'll keep you wrapped up, okay? No one sees your face. No one hears you." Kai tilted his head, as if trying to understand. "Yeah. I wish I spoke your language, too." Grimhaven wasn't a station. It was a floating junkyard stitched together from old ships, held in place by gravity tethers and bad intentions. Rusted holes formed its walls. Neon signs buzzed faintly in alien glyphs. Elara docked in a private bay. Her heart thudded as she checked her pulse gun. "Stay close," she whispered to Kai, pulling a thick cloak over him. The child clung to her hand and sighed. The air smelled of burnt oil and desperation. Rough-looking traders eyed her as she walked by. Cybernetic implants glinted under dim lights. A bouncer with 4 arms growled at a drunken miner. Elara kept her head down, in and out. Repair, refuel, leave at the mechanic's bay. She argued with the surly shopkeeper. "Power core's fried," she said. "I need a replacement. Cash up front." The shopkeeper, squat alien with tusks, snorted. "Double price, you're desperate. Can smell it." "Fine, just hurry." As they waited, Elara sat Kai on a crate and gave him a protein bar. He sniffed it, unsure. "Here," she said, miming how to eat. She took a bite of her own ration. "Like this." Kai hesitated, then copied her. His small hands fumbled, but he managed a bite. "Good boy," Elara said softly. "You're a quick learner." A loud clang echoed behind them. 2 men in ragged armor walked past, their eyes lingering too long on Elara. One smirked. Her hand drifted to her pulse gun. "Don't start trouble," she warned herself. Kai whimpered. "It's okay," she whispered. But his small body trembled. His cloudy eyes darted around. Then it happened. A sharp pressure built in Elara's skull, like claws scraping her mind. The 2 armored men froze mid-step. The shopkeeper dropped a spanner, clutching his head. every being. In the bay went still. Elara gasped, pain flashing through her brain. She looked at Kai, the child's hands clutched his temples. His mouth open in a silent scream. A wave pulsed out from him unseen, but felt in every mind. Telepathy. Stop. Stop, Kai. Elara knelt, pulling him into her arms. You're hurting. Yourself. The pressure vanished. Around them, the shopkeeper and the two men stumbled, dazed and confused. Elara held Kai tightly. His small body was limp in her arms, his breathing ragged. Her heart ached. You're special, but it's killing you, isn't it? Later, in the privacy of her ship, Elara cradled Kai in her lap. Why didn't you tell me? She whispered. Kai looked up, his cloudy eyes wet. Elara touched his tiny hand. Okay, we need to talk. I'll teach you. She pointed to herself. Elara? Then she pointed to him. Kai. They practiced for hours. Elara repeated simple words using gestures. Food. Water. Safe. Kai's small lips moved, clumsy and halting. Fu. D. What? Tur. That's it. She said softly, smiling. Finally, she pointed at herself again, Mama. Kai blinked, his head tilted. Ma, Elara's breath caught. Yes, Mama. Kai's lips curled into a weak smile. Elara hugged him tight. You did it. You're so smart, Kai. But outside the ship, danger brewed. A tall man in a tattered bounty hunter coat leaned against the dock wall, cigarette glowing faintly. He'd seen Elara slip back to her ship with the cloaked bundle. His cybernetic eye clicked softly as it zoomed in. An alien child. I'll fetch a fortune. The bounty hunter grinned. Jackpot. Grimhaven Station pulsed with life. Neon lights flickered. Rough voices shouted deals and threats. Somewhere in the distance, a plasma shot went off. Nobody even flinched. Inside the Wayfarer, Dr. Elara Quinn packed hurriedly. Tools clattered to the floor as she shoved supplies into storage crates. We're leaving. She said out loud, though no one was there to hear, except Kai. The small alien child sat curled on her bunk, wrapped in his thermal blanket. His milky eyes followed her every movement. We can't stay here, Kai, Elara said softly. This place, it's dangerous. She didn't add, and someone saw us outside the ship. The bounty hunter leaned against the docking bay's steel wall. His cybernetic eye glowed, faintly red as it scanned the Wayfarer. Human pilot. And an unregistered life form, he muttered. He cracked his knuckles. This'll be easy credits. Elara didn't hear him coming. The bay door hissed open. She spun, hand reaching for her pulse gun. Too late, the bounty hunter stormed in, towering over her. His long coat swirled as he raised his shock baton. Step aside, lady, he growled. That thing doesn't belong to you. Kai let out a frightened cry. The hunter's eyes flicked to the child. So it's true. An alien kid? Worth a fortune? Stay back. Elara shouted, aiming her weapon. He smirked. Shoot! He lunged. Elara fired. The bolt struck his shoulder. Sparks flew. But the bounty hunter barely flinched. His armor absorbed most of the hit. Bad move, he snarled, swinging his baton. The shockwave knocked the gun from her hand. Kai screamed, but this time, the sound wasn't just in the air. It was in their heads. The bounty hunter froze mid-step. His smirk vanished. What is this? His hands flew to his head as he dropped to his knees. Kai's cloudy eyes glowed faintly. The air seemed to hum with invisible energy. Elara felt a sharp pressure in her skull, like claws scraping. Her brain. Kai, stop. You're hurting yourself, she cried. But the child's small body shook violently. His face twisted in fear and pain. The bounty hunter let out a scream. Blood trickled from his nose. His cybernetic eye sparked and died. Then he went still. Elara's breath caught. The bounty hunter's body hit the floor with a dull thud. Dead Kai collapsed back onto the bunk, gasping weakly. Elara rushed to him, cradling his frail frame. It's okay, she whispered. I've got you. Her eyes flicked to the lifeless hunter. What have you done, Kai? Alarms blared through the station. Warning, unauthorized weapon discharge detected. Docking Bay 7. Footsteps pounded outside. Angry voices shouted. They heard us, Elara muttered. The whole station's coming. She grabbed her pulse. Gun and slung Kai onto her shoulder, small arms clinging weakly around her neck. As she sprinted down the corridor, Elara's mind raced. Kai's powers? They aren't just accidental. He's a genetic anomaly. A weapon. Blaster fire exploded. Behind her, station guards poured into the docking bay, shouting, "Stop! Hand over the creature." Lara ducked as a plasma bolt scorched the wall above her. They're not taking him, she fired back. Hitting the controls to seal the bulkhead, metal doors slammed shut, buying her precious seconds. In the chaos, Kai's trembling hand touched her cheek. "Ma," he whispered. Elar's heart ached. "I'm here," she said softly, even as she ran. "I'll protect you, always." She dove into the Wayfarer's cockpit and slammed the airlock shut. Time to go. Engines roared to life. The ship lurched. As blaster fire struck its hull, "Come on, girl," Elara whispered to the controls, all together. As the Wayfarer tore away from Grimhaven, a transmission crackled over her comms. A cold, official voice spoke. "All ships, beware. Class X anomaly detected near Sector 9. Extreme caution advised. Subject is highly dangerous." Stomach dropped. They're talking about Kai. She looked down at the sleeping child in her lap. His tiny chest rose and fell with shallow breaths. He didn't choose this, she thought. He doesn't even understand it. Her hands tightened on the controls. "Do I teach you to use it, or make you forget?" she whispered. But deep down, she already knew the answer. Outside, the stars blurred as the Wayfarer jumped to light speed. Behind them, Grimhaven burned. The Wayfarer drifted silently in the shadow of a barren moon. Its scarred hull bore the marks of 100 near misses, but the engines were finally quiet. For now they were safe, at least. Elara hoped so. She stood in the dimly lit cockpit, staring. At the readouts, a flashing message burned across the console. Bounty issued target. Dr. Elara Quinn charges. Harboring biothreat. Reward. 500,000 credits. Dead or alive. Elara's hands trembled as she scrolled further. Extreme caution. Advised. Subject is protected by dangerous alien life form. Termination authorized. Her heart sank. The Galactic Authority had painted a target on her back. And worse, they'd hired human mercenaries to do their dirty work. Behind her, Kai stirred in. The corner of the cabin. The small alien child sat cross-legged on a sleeping mat, hugging his blanket. His milky eyes blinked slowly as he watched her. Elara forced a smile. "You hungry, Kai?" He tilted his head. "Ma," the word was soft, but clear. Her chest tightened. She brought him a ration. Back! And sat beside him. Kai fumbled with the packet. Elara helped, tearing it open and handing him the small bar inside as he ate. Her mind drifted to the past, to another small child, her daughter Lena. Years ago, the hospital's sterile lights. Machines beeping in soft, cruel rhythm. Doctor's grim face. "I'm sorry, Dr. Quinn. We've done all we can." Lena's tiny hand had gone cold in hers. Elara remembered screaming. Remembered the emptiness that followed. She blinked back. Tears, and looked at Kai. He was staring at her. His cloudy eyes wide. Then, unexpectedly, he reached out a small, shaking hand and touched her cheek. A warmth spread through her mind. Her grief, her pain, her memories. Kai felt them. His lip trembled as he made a soft sound. Sad. A tear rolled down Elara's cheek. "Yes," she whispered. Sad. Kai clumsily brushed the tear away with his small fingers. This child isn't just an anomaly, Elara thought. He's alive. He's trying to understand. She pulled him close. "I won't lose you too," she whispered. But far above the barren moon, danger closed in. A sleek mercenary dropship cut through the void. Painted black, with the authorities' seal stripped off. It was made for silent hunting. Inside, a dozen armored figures checked their weapons. Orders are clear, their leader growled. Eliminate the pilot, contain the alien. On the moons. Surface Elara stood outside the Wayfarer, scanning the horizon. The air was thin, but breathable. Jagged rocks stretched in all directions. A faint ping echoed in her headset. Motion. Her eyes darted upward. The mercenary dropship was descending fast, engines screaming. Her blood went cold. They found us. She bolted back inside. Kai, hide. Child looked up, confused. No time to explain under the panel now. She ripped open a floor hatch and gestured frantically. Kai crawled in, clutching his blanket. Stay quiet. No matter what happens, Ma, I'll come back for you. The Wayfarer's doors blew open with a thunderous crash. Smoke and dust filled the cabin as armed mercenaries stormed in. Dr. Quinn, their leader, barked. Step away from the console. Elara raised her hands, standing firm. You're not taking him. Wrong answer. Mercenary fired. Elara dove for her pulse gun, returning fire. The cabin erupted into chaos. Blaster bolts ricocheted off walls. Sparks rained from the ceiling. Elara shot 2 mercenaries before a stun blast hit her shoulder, sending her sprawling. She groaned, her vision blurring. I can't let them get him. Then, from the hatch, a faint sound. Ma. Kai crawled out, his small body trembling. Kai, no, stay hidden, Elara cried. But the mercenaries turned. There's the alien. Shh, one shouted. Take it alive. Kai's cloudy eyes glowed. Faintly, the air seemed to hum. The mercenaries froze as a crushing weight pressed into their minds. Their leader dropped, his rifle clutching his head. What is this? Kai screamed. A wave of invisible energy exploded outward. Mercenaries fell to the floor, writhing in pain.
Helmet's cracked.
Visors shattered, then silence. Elara staggered to her feet. Kai. The child stood in the middle of the cabin, his small chest heaving, blood trickled from his nose, his eyes rolled back, then he collapsed. Elara, caught him before he hit the floor. No. Stay with me, she whispered, cradling him tightly. His breathing was weak. On the console, the authorities' bounty warning flashed again. Elara looked at the child in her arms. They'll never stop hunting him, she kissed.
Nice.
Forehead. You're worth everything, little one. Even my life. Above the moon, the wreckage of the mercenary dropship floated in silence. But dozens more authority ships were on their way. The galaxy. Now, whispered one name in fear. Class X anomaly. The Wayfarer drifted through a cloud of ionized dust. Hidden from sensors, Elara slumped against the cockpit wall, her breathing ragged. Her shoulder wound throbbed beneath a makeshift bandage. The stun blast from the mercenaries had done more damage than she'd thought. Damn it. Shh, she whispered, trying to keep her head clear. Across from her, Kai sat curled in his blanket. His cloudy eyes watched her, filled with worry. Don't look at me like that, kid, Elara murmured. I'll be fine. But her voice was weak. And she knew it. A warning blared. Unidentified vessels. Detected. Elara struggled to her feet and peered at the console. 3 sleek alien ships cut through the dust clouds. Their hulls glimmered faintly with strange organic patterns. Elara's heart pounded. Kai's people, they found us. The cums crackled to life. A guttural voice spoke in a harsh alien tongue. Her translator struggled, then managed a rough approximation. Surrender the anomaly, human, or face destruction. Elara gritted her teeth. She reached for the thrusters, ready to make a run for it. Then a second voice broke in, softer, urgent. Wait, human pilot, don't run. We are not here to harm you. Elara froze. This voice spoke her language perfectly. There are those of us who do not wish the child's death. He is hope. On the screen, one of the alien ships broke formation. Its captain appeared on a flickering halafita, tall alien with pale lavender skin like Kai's, but older, his face marked by deep scars. "I am Vale," he said. "We are defectors. Outcasts. Like your child." Lara's eyes narrowed. "You're telling me you don't want to kill him?" Vale shook his head. "We want to save him. Save all of us," he explained quickly. Kai's people had genetically engineered themselves for perfection centuries ago. Every defect, every weakness was purged. But it came at a price. Their gene pool had grown too small. Their species was dying. Kai's mutation, his twisted leg, his cloudy eyes should have marked him for destruction. Instead, it made him different. "He is a natural anomaly," Vale said, "an answer to our genetic collapse. If we can study him, we may survive." Elara's jaw tightened. "Study him? You mean cut him open in a lab?" Vale flinched. "No, not harm him. We need only his cells. His code." Elara looked at Kai. The child clung to her sleeve, his small hand trembling. Could she trust these aliens? Or were they just another threat, using her boy for their own ends? Before she could answer, alarms blared again. Multiple contacts detected. Swarm of human mercenary ships dropped out of hyperspace. They'd been tracked. Vale's voice turned sharp. "You have no choice, human. We can help you fight or leave you to die." Elara's pulse raced. "Can I really trust them?" Her shoulder throbbed painfully. Blood soaked through her bandage. She didn't have the strength to fight off both humans and aliens. She met Kai's eyes. The child reached up and touched her face. "Ma," he whispered. Elara's heart clenched. She turned back to Vale. "Fine, we'll work together. But if you hurt him, we won't. You have my word." Vale sent coordinates. "There is a hidden facility where we can work safely. A cloning center from before the purge. We will meet you there." Elara punched the thrusters. "Hang on, Kai." The Wayfarer jumped to hyperspace. Elara's vision blurred. Her injuries were worse than she admitted. Kai reached for her hand. "Ma, safe?" he asked softly. Elara smiled faintly. "Yes, baby. We're safe. For now." But deep down, she wasn't sure if that was true. Far behind them, the human mercenary fleet formed up. "All ships, pursue the biothreat. The child must not survive." And in the shadows of deep space, another alien fleet stirred. Not defectors. The cloning facility loomed like a ghost from the past, vast, cold, and silent among the stars. Its metal walls shimmered under the harsh lights of arriving ships. Inside, Dr. Elara Quinn carried Kai gently through sterile corridors lined with forgotten technology. Her shoulder throbbed painfully, but her mind was focused on one thing: protecting Kai in a wide chamber. Alien defectors gathered around sleek machines, humming softly. Vale stepped forward, his pale eyes grave. "This facility holds the key," he said. "But Kai must give of himself.
Hi.
His cells carry the mutation that can save our people." Lara's heart clenched. "Give of himself." Vale nodded. "Shh. His life force, his energy, it will be the source of our rebirth." Kai sat on a cold metal bench, looking small and fragile. His cloudy eyes found Elara's. He reached out a trembling hand. "Ma, stay." Tears filled his eyes. Elara swallowed hard. Her instincts screamed to hold him close and never let go. But the fate of an entire species rested on this moment. For long minutes, silence stretched between them. Elara fought the pain of knowing what might come. "You don't have to do this alone," she whispered. Kai's lips quivered. "Ma, safe." She nodded, forcing a brave smile. "Yes, I'll protect you." Suddenly the alarms blared. The Galactic Authority fleet had arrived. Their ships blocked the stars outside, preparing to destroy the facility. Alara's breath quickened. "Vale," shouted orders. "We must begin now." Machines hummed louder. Kai lay down on the platform, pale and weak. Elara reached for his hand. He squeezed back. Faint but steady, as the procedure began. Kai's body glowed faintly. His twisted leg began to straighten. His cloudy eyes cleared. He was healing. transforming, but the power drained him rapidly. His skin flickered like a dying star. Elara's heart pounded. If he burns out, he'll be lost. Desperate. Elara raced to the control panel. She accessed the ancient system, searching for a way to stabilize Kai's energy. A hidden override appeared. Emergency life support for subjects with genetic anomalies. She activated it. The machines hummed, gentle energy flowing back into Kai. Kai's body shuddered, and slowly stopped flickering. His eyes opened wide, shining bright and clear. He looked at Elara, a small smile breaking through. Ma. Elara's tears fell freely. Outside, the galactic fleet prepared to fire. But suddenly, a wave of energy pulsed from the facility. Sensors on the Authority ships flickered erratic. The fleet hesitated, confused. Vale's voice came over the comms. The child's power protects us now. But this is only the beginning. Elara held Kai close, her heart filled with hope and dread. Kai's choice had saved his people, but the road ahead would be harder than ever. The cloning facility glowed softly in the cold darkness of space. Elara Quinn sat beside Kai's resting place, holding his small hand gently in hers. The air was still. The lights dimmed suddenly. Kai's body began to shimmer. His skin turned translucent, like liquid glass. A bright light spread from his chest, growing and pulsing. Ilara's breath caught, her eyes filled with tears and fear. Kai, no. The light grew brighter, surrounding Kai completely. His body seemed to dissolve into pure energy. Elara felt helpless, her hands clutching nothing but empty air. But then, the light changed. It solidified, folding back into a solid form. Kai's body reappeared, whole, strong, perfect. His twisted leg was gone. His cloudy eyes were clear and bright. He blinked and smiled warmly. Mother, he said softly, his voice clear and confident. Elara's heart soared. Thank you, Kai, she whispered. Tears streaming, Kai stood and took a few careful steps. He moved with grace and strength she had never seen before. His smile widened. I'm okay now. Vale and the alien defectors entered the room, faces full of awe. You've saved us all, Vale said, voice thick with emotion. Elara shook her head. No, he saved us. Outside. News spread fast. The Galactic Authority broadcast a message. A new hope has risen. The Class 10 anomaly is no longer a threat. A truce has been declared between humans and alien defectors. Elara looked at Kai, who reached out and took her hand. Mother, he said proudly. Her heart swelled with love and pride. Together, they stepped outside into the starlit sky. Elara whispered, You saved me too, Kai. I smiled, looking up at the stars. Together, he said. The galaxy was vast and full of danger, but with hope and love, even the darkest night could be bright.